So, folks, we understand that today is a working day, and it takes a lot for a lot of people to make arrangements to be able to be present here at this event. So, I'd like to extend a round of applause to all of you all to making it here. And also, the Romp, there's a lot of logistics that go into it to putting this event together, and it's not a one-man show. There's a lot of people that work behind the scenes. So, an extension of a round of applause to the Romp team. Yeah. So a lot of folks here have already been a part of the Romp before, but for the newer folks here, for you to understand what the Romp is about. In essence, the Romp is an endeavor that was conceptualized by some of the senior climbers, primarily from the Bangalore Climbing Initiative community, with the vision to be able to create a sort of community and build the community of climbing within Bangalore and across the country, right? In this journey of building the climbing community, some of the fundamental aspects that were looked to have been evolved were specifically climbing skills for people who have not been exposed to climbing before. They're in essence, as you would know, are paired up in a mentor-mentee sort of a partnership, where this knowledge is sort of passed down, and then eventually those mentees become mentors. And there are, since this is the 5th edition, there are a lot of people who were initially mentees and who have now become mentors. So in essence, the Romp has proved to be a success, and the original vision that was set out by the initial, thought makers is proving to be a success. Now, that's one aspect. The other aspect is in terms of the areas and routes. One is there are already routes that have been developed from the community that has been bygone, and like a lot of those areas are, number one, the routes are old and the bowls are old, so there's a lot of maintenance that has to go into that. And so this also brings those areas into purview again, and those routes are done up again, and that's one aspect. The other aspect is new potentials. Like today, or over the course of these 3 days, there might be a high likelihood that folks will be putting up additional lines, and by doing that, we're not only increasing the climbing ecosystem from a pure route perspective, but also enabling people to access a larger route spectrum, right? So the Romp is not really a competition; it's a quasi-competition, which basically means that fundamentally it's not a competition. It's just a simple honor system. We're all here to climb. We're all here to learn from each other. There'll be a certain specific about what the rules are, which Vineeth will be taking you through, right? Anything else that you would like to add in the intro?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for coming out in such short notice. I mean, we had to change the location just from yesterday morning. So thanks for adapting to the change and turning up here. And we've had some challenges due to which this happened. We're moving here, but yeah, I think Vineeth can add a little bit light on that. The last 1 week, what was happening?
So Ramnagara, this was supposed to be the Ramnagara Romp. So now we've shifted the location to Varlakund. That's mostly because of the forest department issue. So some of it in Ramnagara is reserve forest. And reserve forest, you technically need permissions to do any sort of activity. So that was a challenge we ran into. We tried to get permissions, but Indian bureaucracy, the way it is, they refuse to give permission. They will give you oral permissions. Anything in writing, they're hesitant. So it came down to making a choice between risking it, jeopardizing future access, or try and shift this. So all these years we've been flying under the radar. You just go there, do it, and come out. This year has been a little bit of a challenge. So because of that, we decided it was smarter to just more prudent to shift it. We're doing it here at this crag. We have limitations with the crag, and we'll get into it in a little bit, but that's the best we could do, and it just happened at the last minute kind of thing.
We didn't want clarity on which ones are reserve forest and which ones are not yet.
There are some, like Achula is a reserve forest, but again it comes down to how far away are you from the main roads. If you're on the face if you're like a face that is facing the road, then they're not very adamant about enforcing that. But if you're on the back side, which happened at Sidilkallu, which is sort of remote, that's where, and it's mostly to do with the man-animal conflict. It's not so much that the forest department does not want us to climb there, but they are concerned about liabilities. You're out there, something happens to you, animal, a leopard, could be a bear, could be an elephant, whatever it is. If you get into trouble, they are responsible. So which is why they're doing different about it. Because they assume you're just complete novices. They don't understand that to be a climber, you can't just be a trekker. So they equate us with trekkers. Trekking is just walking for the most part. You got a nice pair of shoes, you can go. Right? So they equate us with trekkers and they assume we take the same sort of risk and are not as responsible. So trying to convince them, getting that process going. We are working on it and that will take some time. But unfortunately nothing did happen the way we wanted it. So we decided it was prudent to